What is a workers' compensation waiver of subrogation? What do you need to know about the idea of subrogation, and when is it appropriate and when is it not to offer a waiver of subrogation to a client or third party? We're going to answer those questions right now. Hi, Ryan Hanley here, founder and president of 𝗧𝗵𝗂 𝗥𝗶𝘀𝗪, where we do insurance differently, specifically by giving you knowledge and information to make the right insurance decision. Okay, when it comes to a waiver of subrogation for your workers' comp, few things we need to kind of break down real quick, and then we'll understand what the waiver is. First and foremost, what is subrogation in general? It is when there is incident reported on your insurance which ultimately wasn't your fault. That is a broad, high-level way of explaining it, but essentially, say an employee comes in injured, but that injury occurred on the property doing work for, say, a third party or a client, and they were actually responsible for the injury. So what that means is you have a claim on your workers' comp policy that was someone else's fault. So in this case, what would happen is that claim would be registered to your insurance, and then your insurance company, your workers' comp company, would go and they would recoup the money for that claim from the client or third party who was actually responsible for the injury to your employee. So this isn't a fairly common thing, only because oftentimes in the course of work, it's the person's job and it is ultimately your workers' comp policy that responds, but this does happen. And oftentimes clients and third parties will ask for a waiver of subrogation. So what a waiver of subrogation does is say, okay, your employee got hurt because of something we did, but in this case, because you've offered me a waiver of subrogation, your insurance company cannot come after my insurance company for the claim expense. So what this does is it basically puts all the onus, if you offer a waiver of subrogation, it puts all the onus on your business, your insurance policy. So instead of your employee being injured, putting a claim on your insurance, and then your insurance company getting that money back from your client or third party, which in this case, that would not impact your insurance premiums, and most likely, depending on which state you're in, not impact your workers' comp experience mod, okay, which are very good things. In this case, you're denied that right. You've contractually given up the right to subrogate against the third party, and now that claim, its expense, and its impact on both your premiums and your experience mod, you take the full brunt of. So when you are offering a waiver of subrogation, understand that you are essentially waiving your right to recoup money which should have come from someone else. Now, there are many business reasons to do this. First and foremost, it may be a requirement of a contract from a client or third party that you ultimately want to do business with. And in that case, you have to make the business decision whether you are willing to give up your right to subrogation. So essentially, subrogation is something happens, the claim is placed on your insurance policy, but it was someone else's fault, and your company is able to go out through the process of subrogation and get that money back, which then reduces the impact to your premiums and your claims experience. That's a good thing. However, we are often asked for waivers of subrogation, and in those cases, if we decide to do that, it is important that we know we are giving away that right to go do that. So just being aware of this concept, you may be able to negotiate the waiver of subrogation out. You may not care. That is a business decision. But in terms of your workers' comp waiver of subrogation, you now have a full understanding of what it means, why it's important, and the ultimate impact on your business. If you have questions about your insurance of this nature and you're not able to have these kind of conversations with your agent, we would love to work with you here at 𝗧𝗵𝗂 𝗥𝗶𝘀𝗪. This is the level and depth of connection that we build with our clients, and we'd love to help you. Workers' comp is one of our specialties. That's why we do videos like this one. If you want to get a hold of us, you can give us a call, 518-960-6600. We're in all 50 states, so wherever you are, we can work with you. You can visit us online at 𝗧𝗵𝗂 𝗥𝗶𝘀𝗪.com. You can email us at gorogue@𝗧𝗵𝗂.com, or I'm sure there is a link or a button somewhere around this video that lets you contact us. Whichever way you choose, we look forward to working with you.